he is the Deputy Director of the Riverside County Department of Public Health. He has been in Toastmasters since 2008, and at that time he has served in virtually every club officer role, including 2 years as an officer in Founders District Club 407, the past District Governors Directors Club. He was a distinguished area governor, a President's Distinguished Division Governor. In 2013-14, he was distinguished as the District 12 Governor. In August, at the International Convention, he was elected as the International Director from Region 10, one of only 14 directors on the Toastmasters Board of Directors. Today he will be presenting on what makes a leader. Please help me welcome back International Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Michael Osur.
Our founder, Dr. Smedley, said, leadership is the ability to plan ahead and think ahead and get others to go ahead with the plan. There's the hard part. There's the good part. Quoted on our agenda is that we learn best in times of enjoyment. Dr. Smedley said that as well. What he didn't say is it's also really hard work, but we can learn. Because in Toastmasters, the only organization where we teach ourselves first and we work with others to help others. So tonight we want to talk about what makes a leader. What are the key pieces? Because Daniel Goleman says we can learn how to be leaders. My wife is a natural leader. She was born knowing how to talk to people. She was born knowing how to get people to work together. Her husband, me, I had to learn it, and I'm still learning it, and it's still a challenge. But let's talk about some of those aspects that can make a difference in how we become leaders. The first one, self-awareness. You're all here tonight. Somewhere you made a decision to come here, to give up your Thanksgiving weekend with your family, or to fly in early. Dan flew in early from Colorado. I flew in early from the Bay Area to be here, to be with you. So we have to be self-aware. What is it that makes you tick? What is it that makes you want to step ahead? What's that internal drive? Or what pushes your buttons? And there's people in this room, Karen, I know what pushes your buttons.
Maybe.
Yeah. But what pushes your button so you can control that, so you can be aware of what that is, aware of how other people react to you. That is so important. And again, something that I mostly in the past, before Toastmasters, I didn't care. I was oblivious to it with the expected consequences. Well, that phases into self-control, because when people push those buttons, what do? How do you get over it? You can't be angry, because not everyone's going to agree with you. I visited many districts recently, and you'd be surprised. In Toastmasters, we are one big happy family, but we're also sometimes a dysfunctional family. We don't all get along all the time. We may see the world differently. So in that role, what do you play? How do you control yourself? Because that is really the essence of leadership as well. What is your mechanism to deal with those people that push your buttons, or those situations that push your buttons? I didn't know that group therapy would be part of the international director role. They don't always want to listen to what you have to say. Even though we're talking about member achievement, club excellence, engagement and participation as we implement the strategic plan, you say, well, it's so simple. This is what we do. Whatever benefits the member. But people in those roles sometimes have a different agenda, and they haven't learned that self-control piece. Because remember, in Toastmasters, it's about our membership. And then where do the members learn and grow in our clubs? Those are the two most important pieces. And we do that with focus on our core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence. That's what guides us. That's every day, both in and out of Toastmasters. So, self-awareness and self-control. A third aspect, this is another one, empathy. Now, empathy is not sympathy. Sympathy is where you actually feel what the other person is feeling, like it's the 1960s all over again, or you're living in San Francisco. You know, empathy, understanding how people are feeling. Really, and you have to care about that. And that means you actually have to listen. And for me, that's been my big growth opportunity. Listen, listen, listen. Being an extrovert, I have a lot to say. For those who know me, I've had to learn to listen, to nod my head, to take in what the people are saying and not just think about what the next thing I'm going to say is going to be. But empathy, to really care what the other person is feeling, understand what's driving them as well. And that means you actually have to care, and you can't fake it. Having been recently in Mexico, yes, they're thrilled to see an international director, but they really know if you care or not. And I could only be myself, which I was, and they knew that I could care. I care, and I was just so thrilled to be there in another country. And there, Toastmasters is a gift. It's not for granted. There's no international directors or past international directors or region advisors or past region advisors in Mexico. They're starved for leadership. And they really wanted me to listen to what their issues were, to care about what they were feeling and understand what it means. You know, we see it just part of North America, but that border is huge, and how challenging it is for them in Toastmasters, just getting materials in their own languages, which we hope that Pathways will fix. So we've talked about self-awareness, self-control, empathy, and the fourth is motivation. Now I hear all the time from the area directors, I can't motivate the clubs to actually do this, or follow the program, or do manual speeches, or turn in their officer list. And the division directors, I can't motivate my area directors to turn in their visit forms. So all the area directors here, you've turned them in, right? Because there's like 3 days left. How am I doing, Siri? Is that good? We can't motivate anybody. People have to motivate themselves. What we do is we can create the atmosphere that allows them to find their internal motivation. Now, we can also do the external motivation piece. We have pins, we have badges, we have ribbons, we have, certificates, free food. We can set the atmosphere so people can be motivated, but you can't motivate anybody. And once we understand that, it really frees us up to actually help people find their internal motivation. And you can do the external piece, but really they have to find what's inside of them. And that's another lesson for me, because I really thought I could motivate people. No, but create that atmosphere where they can be motivated. And the fifth one, those social skills. Now, we're not talking about social media, posting on Facebook and Instagram. And I still don't understand Snapchat, but because I'm too old, I think. But social skills, how do you interact with people? Do they know that you care? Do you listen? Can you get a group to work together toward a common goal? Now, tonight it's not a workshop, so we're not going to teach those social skills, but they can be learned as well. Because we all know people, right, that we didn't want to join our club, but they find something inside of them when they're in the club. You create that atmosphere that helps them move to the next level. So, an area director in District 12, I won't mention her name, but she was excited to be an area director, and she was helping organize the first contest that she had done. And her mentor called me frustrated. All that person, area director, wants to do is pick the linens and the color of the certificates. And she was so frustrated. So I said, no, we have to meet people away. A brand new area director, she'd never had a role like where she was in a leadership position before. And to understand that and help her move from one step to the next step. You know, Alfred will say, contest, why is an area director organizing contests? That's a different question, which, by the way, I did ask them as well, clearly. But the best we can do is move people one step at a time, and then maybe to the next step. So at my table, I said, oh, you're an assistant area director. You want to be the area director? Fill out that form. Well, I don't know. You got to go for it. And Alfred has a beautiful talk. Driving the Ferrari. The area director job is like, it's that Ferrari. You have a great opportunity. So it's just one step. If you're the area director, you've really already made the decision to be a leader. Just take the next step. You get the credit and you get your distinguished Toastmaster quickly. And for those of you that are already in a committee chair, think of the next position, division director. And for the division directors or the other managers, there's a lot of positions in founders. There's going to be opportunities now for club growth, program quality. There's going to be multiple positions here. This is a great opportunity for growing 2 districts. And don't you want to be part of that? So I have a whole talk that I gave in Mexico. DC or KC, just say yes to the opportunity, and we can make that happen. And as a part of Toastmasters is leadership. Now you'd say, oh, I joined to be able to speak in my club and get over my fears of public speaking. That's a given. The leadership is the other side. You all want to get your money's worth. Right? It's communication and leadership. And as Pathways phases in August or so, give or take a month, they'll be combined. But the leadership track and what we do as leaders, that's really a huge part of what we're doing in Toastmasters. So think about how that affects you. Your self-awareness. Right, you're all here. You all made a decision to be here, so you're already 1 step or 2 steps along that way. Self-control. Now, sometimes I have to count backwards from 100 by 4s. Get to 86 or something. Does that work out? 88? See, by the time I figure that out, I can't be mad anymore. Empathy, really understanding what is driving people or what's motivating them. It ties into motivation, but understanding how people are feeling. Motivation, create the atmosphere where people can be motivated, understanding that you really can't motivate anybody. I still want the area directors to get their reports in before November 30th. Motivation, and then the social skill piece. That's what makes a leader. These are all items that can be taught and can be learned by all of us. Everybody in this room can learn that. We don't have to be born with it, but we can learn it. And Toastmasters is the place to do it. Madam Program Call.